Hey, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
and this is the How Hustle Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Mabel Katz about Honopono and healing through Honopono. Mabel, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was introduced to Honopono years ago from Joe Vitale, and I'm
And are we
sure it
saying
was
it
just,
correctly?
is that how you say it?
I think it has another.
Ho'oponopono.
Okay, yes. Ho'oponopono.
Honopono. Okay.
It's got another syllable for us, right? Beautiful. And so you were introduced
I
to.
was just, and I was just, I think, on the surface of it, just introduced about the story of a man in Hawaii. I think it was Dr. Lim, and
Dr. Hulen. Call
he,
it different names, but it's Hulen.
okay,
Okay.
and it was just the simple message on how he was in, like, working with some mentally ill, and he
That's
was
right.
working on himself to heal, and it was healing others through that collective frequency and energy. And that's about all I know on the surface, but it was quite cool and quite profound. So I'm excited to have you enlighten us
Super excited.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Ho'oponopono is a very ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving. And for me, it became like a philosophy of life, how you see problems, because really problems are opportunities. In Ho'oponopono, we said they are opportunities to clean, to erase. These
Okay.
are replay memories. So it's about 100% responsibility, that there is nobody out there. When you change, everything changes. Like
Hey.
life is just the monitor, so nothing will show up in your monitor if you don't have the program downloaded. Yes.
That does make sense.
Exactly. So we are always reacting based on memories. Yes. And memories, it could even come from past lives. People comes to your life to give you one more chance. So again, it's 100% responsibility. What is it in me, that is attracting this, or this is happening? And very important, not confuse it with guilt, because guilt really is not a nice feeling, no? Or you
No.
don't know what to do with
Oh,
guilt. Responsibility sets you free. Actually gives you the freedom to change. At least that's what I realized, and that's when my life changed, because I realized, I said, oh, I created it. Oh, I can change it, because
Yes.
at least for me, I always knew in my life I could get anything I wanted, that it depended on me. Yes.
mm-hmm.
So I said, oh my goodness, this is what I was looking for. Also, again, no, because I realized now I don't depend on anybody or anything. And since I was a little child, I was always very independent. I didn't want to depend on anybody. I started making money very early in life, started selling things so I could make money,
Yeah.
as a little child. So for me, really was freedom. And also, I realized that I don't know what other people think of me is not important. What I think of myself, again, I created it, I can change it. So 100% responsibility. I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this, but I don't need to know what that is. I don't know, and I will not never know, because we have a part of us that knows, and it's only asking us to give permission, because we have free choice. So it's giving permission to the divinity in us to erase. Yes. So, but first you have to let go. First you have to ask for help. First
Yes.
you have to, allow for the help to come, the inspiration, the guidance. Yes. So one of the things that I didn't buy in my spiritual path, my awakening and my search, was the drama. I didn't buy into the drama. I need to know who hurt me. I need to know who to blame. I need to cry. I need to suffer. And I thought there has to be an easier and faster way. And again, I took the training many times. I sat there, because every time that I sat in the seminar, I felt more at peace. I was able to trust more, to let go more. And one day I said, definitely this is what I was looking for, the short and fastest way to peace, happiness, and abundance.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit what made you started on that path?
Yes, well, I was a tax accountant in US. I specialized in taxes. I was very successful. A lot of people have problems paying for spiritual stuff. That things that you invest in yourself to make you better, to really, have the life of your dreams and everything. But I always said, if I would for the money, I would go back to preparing taxes. You know, I actually worked less and made more money. But anyway, I was very successful.
That paradigm.
She said if it was only for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Her
exactly.
soul
But
has
then,
different plans.
then when to be honest with you, I keep going only because the theme with my people is you change my life. You change my life. So how could I let go of this? Oh,
Yes.
okay. I don't care anymore. You do it. So, that's the fuel that keeps me going, the testimonials, the people telling me you changed my life. Otherwise, sometimes I feel it doesn't make sense, you know? Um, so people see also all my trips and everything, and they think that I'm lucky or it's fun or something, but it's great, but it also has a lot of challenges and things and pressure and stress and a lot of things. So, what happened is I was looking for peace in my personal life. My professional life worked. But I was a very angry person. I was very unhappy always, unsatisfied. I had everything that somebody thinks it needs to be happy, but I wasn't. And what happened is that my oldest son kind of got all my frustration. He was kind of the dumping thing. And one day he talked to me the way I used to talk to him. And I saw myself. And I mean I love my son, very much. So I thought, I don't want this for him. I know how that feels. So that day I made a decision and I said, Mabel, you are looking for happiness in the wrong places. You have to do something. And that was enough for me to start changing my life. From that on, my life started changing because life is about decisions. We are 100% responsible. And the universe is always there to help us, to guide us, to inspire us, to open doors. But you have to take that first step. Yes. So my first step was deciding that I needed to start my search, that there had to be something else, to find out where all that unhappiness was coming from. If I had everything, that you could think you need to be happy. And the universe was the one started guiding me. The first seminar I found, but right away was about anger. And that ended up being a metaphysical teacher. And I ended up taking my first metaphysical course with him, introducing me to metaphysical. And one thing brought me to the other, a yoga class where the teacher made us do a visualization at the end of the class. I visualized that I was having a good relationship with my son. And that same day, there was an amazing change in our relationship. So I started wondering if we are so powerful that whatever we think or imagine, we could manifest, So, and that one thing brought to the other. And actually, I cannot tell you, I suffered, and, I don't know, I lost everything. I actually left everything, but my choice, and not that I was on the streets or anything like that. I let go of safety. I let go of that comfort zone. Yes.
I can relate.
Because I started trusting so much to something that I couldn't see or touch. I opened my mind so much, my heart, that my life completely changed.
Wow.
What do you say to someone that is on that journey? Because I walked away from corporate to do this work full time, and that's a safety. I've been in my career for 17 years, and that's all I'd ever known. And when you work in radio and television, it's very taxing and it's high stress all the time. So it's very angry all the time. And but I also knew something else was there for me, and I'm just asking for the people on the line that might be feeling the same way that you did. What do you tell somebody that is embarking on a journey like that?
Well, I use a lot of I let go and trust. In those times of fear, your mind starts because what do we do with Ho'oponopono? We stop the mind, we stop the stories, we stop the, I once I heard somebody that says we have a multi-theater here, in our heads. Just don't go to the multi-theater anymore.
Right.
Stop buying your own stories. So when you stop that, now you are present and you are one with your divinity. So you just have to allow yourself to be guided. But again, first you have to let go. Ho'oponopono is about I let go and let God, whatever you understand for God. Yes, I found it inside myself. I was not a believer. But as I started trusting myself, I think that is the foundation. Yes, we have to trust ourselves. And we have to know that we are not alone and we don't have to do it alone. But you have to allow for the help to come. You have to ask for help. Otherwise, the help cannot come, okay, because of your free choice. So that is really sacred. So the idea is, again, deciding if you are going to let go and trust or not. Yes. And there could be many ways of doing it. But for me, many times, if I go into the fear or things like that, I I just repeat kind of like parrot style. I let go and
Uh-huh.
trust, I let go and trust, I let go and trust. I do not allow, for that. So I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me. At one point, I realized I was because I was doing both things at the same time. I having a TV show here in Los Angeles for the Latino community, doing conferences and these teleconferences at that time. I'm talking about many, many years ago. We didn't have Zoom or anything like that. So, but at one point I realized I cannot prepare any more taxes because I realized that my brain didn't work the same way. One day I sat in front of the computer with the program that I had used to prepare taxes for many years. And really, I had a question in my mind that says, how do you do this?
Oh,
So can you imagine?
wow.
It says an inner work always, you change and everything changes. So
Uh-huh.
I said, I'm not preparing any more taxes. I called my kids and I said, I'm not preparing any more taxes. Like this is official, okay? I'm not doing it for the family. I'm not doing it for anybody. And then, but my profession was an amazing profession that paid for a lot of my preparation. A lot of the trips that I took with Dr. Hewlett, a lot of the seminars and things like that. So, and also at that time, I already had employees, so I had a commitment, a responsibility.
Yes.
But I had some income coming from some products, and that gave me the peace of mind I can do it. And suddenly that income disappears. And sure, I got into the worry, and what am I gonna do? And I remember like it was yesterday because it was around 2009, okay? But
Okay.
like it was yesterday, my intellect immediately told me, you will have to go back to preparing taxes, and you will have to fire your employees and they will understand because things change. But because I started letting go and not allowing that to control me, that it was the logical thing. You understand? We always do the
Yes.
logical, or what
Yes.
people tell you, well, now you have to do this. Okay. Because of letting go and trusting, it's like another voice came into my mind, and I had a different kind of conversation in my mind. And I told myself, I said, God knows why I'm here, how much I need, and when. I'm not gonna worry. So, I remember again, like it was yesterday, I was sitting right here working, and I would, every time that I notice, it's not like, oh, I don't worry anymore. I don't have any expectation anymore. Oh, no, no, I mean, yeah, I'm human now.
No. But you've had moments where you feel like you're not.
For a while, I'm human. So,
Yeah.
but every time I notice, you have to be conscious enough to stop blaming and complaining and realizing that you can be in control and you decide who you give the control to.
Yeah.
So in the moments that I notice that, my thought, how am I gonna pay the salaries and this and how I'm gonna do this or the upsets or whatever, yes, I will look up like a little child and I would say, I'm not gonna worry. Like you take care of it because I don't have a clue what to do. So I think that if we realize we don't have a clue, it's much easier if you let go and allow yourself to be helped. So I didn't go back to preparing taxes. If I would have gone with the logical, definitely, okay? I never had money problems, but I wasn't, like worrying about the money all the time. I knew in my heart, and I always tell these people, the worst thing you can do is worry. Yes, because that keeps you in a very low energy. And
Yeah.
money that we think is dirty and all the programming that we have, money vibrates at 500 like love. No wonder when you do what no wonder when you do what you love, money always comes.
Yes.
Okay? So, we have to reprogram ourselves. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we've been programmed exactly the opposite. No, you have to work for the money. So look at how the universe works, because there is no way Mabel Katz could have done it without God. Okay?
Love you for saying that in third person.
Yeah, I knew that the money would be there every time I needed it, and it was. Where did do you know where this money came from? I mean, China, Korea, Japan, Italy, Canada, they were buying the rights of my books.
Wow.
Now, you think that I could visualize?
No.
No.
A Japanese company will send me.
This or something better.
Impossible. But you understand that the universe has ways that we cannot even imagine. So becoming humble is very important. You become humble and you ask for help. So, and they sometimes asking for help is not worrying. Is being present, allowing, because the fear, the worries always is taking you to I don't know, to replay the past or to worry about the future. But all you have to do is being in the present moment. You always have everything you need.
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
Man, there's so much to pull apart here. But I kind of want to hear about what would you say would be some of the most profound stories that you've heard from some of the people that have come to you and said, you won't believe this.
Oh, that's fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, but I would say it's always either money, with jobs or opportunities, Oh, Mabel, thank to you, here, I want to give you my book. I was able to write the book. People would tell me, because of you, now I can fly on planes. I was so afraid I wasn't able. Yeah. But especially I would say that money, but relationships. Relationship with your children, relationship with your parents, your spouse. It brings much harmony because you learn to keep your mouth shut. I always tell people, if we wouldn't talk, we wouldn't have that many problems. Yes. So a little bit of that is the idea, to bring if you are at peace, the world will be at peace. We are waiting for something to change outside. If we don't change, nothing will change. And we are creating always our own reality. So that 100% responsibility really is basic. And the other thing is, in Japan, once they asked me why I didn't put the word Ho'oponopono, or I didn't say, my business trainings had a spiritual component. And I said, well, in United States, nobody would hire me because they think it's religion,
Ah,
And they said, the answer came from them, and it says, in Japan, we wouldn't hire you unless we know it has a spiritual component, because in Japan, we know that spirituality is the foundation of any successful business. So any successful family, any successful community, I mean, again, we need to relearn, because we've been programmed wrong, in very special forms, and that they don't work. It's not for our own good.
Yeah. Can you take us through the process that you help? I mean, there's a lot of greatness here, but there's processes within
It
this
it
work.
is it is letting go in any way you can. So I
Uh-huh.
am a practical person, because I'm still a very
Love
intellectual
that.
person,
We're,
and I
we're
have
really.
my business background. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what I want is people to know that it's very easy. It's too easy, and intellects do not understand easy. Okay.
Okay.
So my teacher used to say, I don't know how to complicate it a little bit so you believe. So for example, what I told you, that I was just, I let go and trust, I let go and trust mentally, okay? Because we create with our thoughts. So, so in stopping the thing, that is doing Ho'oponopono, is a way of doing Ho'oponopono. A lot of people knows the Joe Vitale famous 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. But really, Ho'oponopono is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this. That was replaced by thank you. You can look, this is Ho'oponopono mentally. Thank you, 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 thank you. You don't even need to feel it. Okay? I love you, I love you, I love you. Whatever helps you to stop. We have a lot of ways of doing it. You understand? But what works for you, and what I'm trying to always conveying to people, you can get your own tools. What helps you to bring yourself back to present, to trust more, to allow divinity, but because Ho'oponopono is how you're going to let go, how you're going to stop the stories, how you're going to say to the fear, thank you, you can be here, but in the corner, okay? Who you are going to give the control. And I mention fear because we are, I mean, instead of love is in the air, now is fear in the air. And if we keep engaging with the fear that they are selling, we are not gonna change, and we are gonna end. This is not gonna end well. It's not gonna have a happy ending if we keep being asleep and engaging with fear. So we need to wake up and realize the power that we have to choose who I give the control in my life. So I'm sure you heard of Bruce Lipton. So Bruce Lipton says we walk with 2 antennas. Okay, we have 2 radios. But if you don't stop this radio, this one is not gonna do anything about it. You have to do it. And that's Ho'oponopono, to stop the radio.
Yeah. Stop thinking
And it's a moment, but it's 24 hours a day. You have a part of you that is your subconscious mind, the inner child, we say in Ho'oponopono, that can do it for you like it does your breathing. So while you sleep, your inner child is cleaning too. This is a 24/7. It's not like I wait for the problem to show up in my life to do it. I
Right.
can avoid things from happening, or things can come lighter because I did that.
Well,
You
I
understand?
think it's a good
So
point.
my memories are playing all the time. This is like the antivirus in the computer.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Well,
Wow.
I think you've got a good point there. Like, if you've got a fear of flying, Like that's a big something that would change your life if you got rid of that fear. But
Yeah, or driving.
what
I
else
have
is
people
possible?
that started driving at 50 or 60 because, I
Yeah.
let go and trust, I let go and trust.
Wow.
Wow, right? But if you do it in every area of your life before these massive things show up, that's really the art of freedom.
Exactly. So the idea is that you realize you have the power to change your life. You have everything that you need inside of you. Let go of the past, forgive, don't hurt yourself anymore because you're not hurting the other person, you're hurting yourself. What you think of you is important, not what other people think of you. So all those things are the one that change my life. And the 100% responsibility. If I want something to change, I need to change. If
Mhm.
something is bothering me, it's because there is something in me, that is a memory replaying. So again, the 100% responsibility will set you free. So I
Right.
think
And
we can
people
go
don't
to
get that.
questions.
Don't you? I think that people don't get that. I think that,
No, because like the things that I mentioned about the money, we've been programmed to blame and complain. It's always
Yes.
somebody else's fault.
Right.
yeah, we've also been like forcing ourselves to like work because
And hard.
because that's our point of view
Yeah.
of that's the way it'll come to
and,
us.
and it's never enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I always tell people that I have a critical voice that when I go to sleep, it tells me everything I didn't do, So now I have a conversation and I said, but I did this and I did that. I
Yeah.
did a lot of things and I think I did good.
Good.
Mhm.
I like that. I'm going to use that. Are you open to take a couple callers and their
Yes, yes,
questions? Let's do
yes,
that.
sure.
Okay. You guys, go ahead and raise your hand on the stream, and we'll take a few callers for Mabel.
We're so grateful.
And Mabel, how would you like them to ask a question if they've got something going on in their life?
They don't have to tell me the whole story. I don't need the
Okay.
whole story.
So they just a
Just
sentence.
to the point. Just to the point,
Okay,
whatever problem or
great.
situation. But yeah, I don't need the whole story.
Okay,
I
you
gotcha.
guys. So
You just
to
have,
raise your hand, how do they raise their hand?
there's just a raise hand button at the bottom,
There's a raise hand button at the bottom of your Zoom. So
or you
go
can type into the chat, hey, I'd like to ask a
Can you maybe in the chat you have some questions?
Yeah,
No?
Yeah,
we do
we
have
do.
some chat questions. Berkeley says we are all conscious creators of our own reality. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Confirmation of what we are talking about.
I
We
feel
agree.
like they might not know what questions to ask.
Yes.
Do you have a question you can ask that might start this?
I feel like I just asked one, but one of my questions is so I kind of started on this, but I always have this idea that I was raised where I had to work hard in order to receive, and so I was very studious, and I always wanted to have good grades and wanted to be opposite of my parents because they had a lot of turmoil and. I just felt like that was the only way in which I probably deserve to have money in abundance. Now, I always did have money in abundance because I knew how to work hard and I knew how to sell. But
Yes.
the thing is that all of a sudden, when my soul shifted, I knew that I was still trying to halfway in and halfway out do this work. And I knew my soul was calling me to do it full time. And for almost half a decade, I tried to do I'm gonna do both until I started to make myself sick.
Well, when you get the answer, you tell me because I'm also a very hard worker. That's something I'm still working on that. The thing is now I do what I love that I cannot call it work. Yes.
Yes.
But I always was a hard worker as an employee. My employers always loved me. I always got raises. Whatever I asked, I was given because I was an excellent employee. Because I worked like it was mine, or I wasn't looking at the watch, I never worked for the money. And even right now, when people comes in my business, I always tell them, I just want you to know I love money, but I don't work for the money. I will not do anything because, oh, this will give me money, you know? It has to have, I always go overboard with the content that I give. You know, it's never good enough, I just want to give, give, give. So I have to sleep at night and know that whatever, I'm doing, it is correct, let's say.
Yeah.
I like
So,
humility. I mean, I like the, I guess, honesty. It's really
Oh, I
refreshing,
know. You're
right?
so honest.
It just
Yes.
yeah,
seems
no,
like it was
my
so,
people
so
knows
real.
I'm very transparent. I mean, like I said, right now I'm human and I'm here to work my own things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So I am also working on that. But I'm gonna tell you something that I think it's important that you know that you don't have to be perfect. And I think that's a big one. For example, I do my best. And I always tell people, like, for example, we have to clean 24/7. You think I can do 24/7? Thank God. Well, okay, I've been confirmed. I'm in automatic. My inner child is doing it. But you understand consciously? No, I also engage and I also react and I got my opinions and judgment.
Yes.
But the thing is, I'm conscious enough to realize what I'm doing.
Yes.
I go back to the cleaning and the letting go as soon as I can. Okay, that definitely because I know that works. Okay, so that but the most important, and when I love to connect people with their purpose because that changed my life. Again,
Yeah.
when you do what you love, the money comes. You don't have to worry, and you are on the path, and things just come to you. I don't plan, I don't visualize. In Ho'oponopono, we don't visualize. Some people could call the tools, the phrases, that we repeat as mantras, but whatever you want to call them, for us are tools, to do the work. But the idea is that, to be as present as you can, to let go and trust as much as you can. And again, I love what I do. So again, I cannot call it work, but it is in my nature. And I always thought that everybody has what they deserve because it deserves of your commitment. If you are willing to invest in yourself, if you are willing to do what it takes, and sometimes it's working weekends too,
Yeah.
or
I was
working
up
all
all
the
night
time.
last night.
Everything comes back.
But I
So
love it.
so
Yes.
Yeah,
again,
you do.
so
I
That's
do
again,
love
what's
it.
right.
stop
We've gotten
stop
here.
blaming and complaining. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you are not willing to do what it takes, I mean, you cannot envy people. You cannot be jealous of people. You cannot criticize people if you are not willing to do what it takes. You understand? So
Yeah.
for example, I received an email from somebody from Tenerife, an island, in belongs to Spain. It's in the Canary Island, and I was there last February. And so the guy writes to me and says, I'm desperate. Really, I follow you. I really practice. I really need help and all that stuff. So I asked him where he is. Yes. And he tell me in Tenerife. So I said, okay, I'm going to connect you with somebody that thinks he can help you. But I said, why didn't you come to the training? Oh, I was ashamed and I didn't want to ask. And I said, so you were ashamed to ask for help, to come to a seminar that could help you and get you out of your situation right now, but you're not ashamed to now help me, give me. You understand what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So, you know,
It does. Yes.
so again, you have to help yourself to be helped. It's like in Ho'oponopono, you first have to let go. You have to trust. Because if you let go and worry, it's two energies. I mean, you really have to let go and trust.
Yes.
You have to do your part. Ihaliakala, Dr. Hulen used to tell us, as soon as you say thank you, God starts working for you. But it's so hard for us to even think about that, yes? Or
Yeah.
realize
Yes.
that could be. But when you let go, you have a whole universe behind you. But you have to do your part. You have to believe. You have to let go. You have to let trust. And yes, you have to work, or you have to get out of your comfort
Yes.
zone, or So I think everybody has what they deserve because it is, or for example, if you worry all the time, I mean, what are you gonna attract? Well, you worry.
More things to worry
You
about.
worry, you're not gonna have money. You're not gonna have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Venetia had a
sometimes you have to
question.
get out of your comfort zone and say, you know what? What do I have to lose? I'm gonna let go and trust.
Yeah.
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 Well, just for a minute, I know we've got some hands raised, but I would like to address Penny's comment. And she's like, I'd love to release whatever's blocking me around my finances. And I think that that's kind of a typical thing. What if people don't know what they want to do
But
with
no, they
to
don't
make
need to
money?
know. They don't need to know.
Okay.
They need to let
This
go
might
and
be the
say,
one thing we
God, I
need,
said,
right?
God, I'm ready. Show me.
Show
And,
me.
and you
But
have
I'm
to
people don't
be,
ready.
ask for
and
that. That's
you
what's the
have
missing piece here, right?
and you have to,
To
know what
trust.
happened? We are
Yeah.
so asleep that everything is in front of us and we don't see it because we are in the future, worrying about the future. You understand what I
Right.
mean? So you
Uh-huh.
have to find tools that help you to stay present, open, alert, conscious. So yeah, you can recognize for example, one thing that I always ask people is, what would you do even if you don't get paid? That when I was asked that made a big difference in my life. And I tell you why, because I answered something that it was totally ridiculous. I was a tax specialist. I wrote traveling the world, sharing with people what had helped me.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, and
Oh.
there's some
So,
people,
so there is a part of us that knows already. You don't need to know anything. You need to realize you don't know. First,
yes,
you have to become humble enough to realize you don't know and that you need
yes,
help.
yes. And
And
truly
go and
ask
ask
for
for
guidance
help, and the
here.
help will come. When you ask for the help comes.
One of the things I was told by a coach once was when you're not clear, was literally to ask for clarity and ease around this. So
Yeah,
I was
like
asking
show
how
me,
to,
like I said, show me,
yeah. So if you're
I'm
trying to
open.
figure things out, it just seems like, yeah, you've got to go, what will it take for me to have clarity and ease
I
around this?
am telling you, people ask me, really, Mabel, you tell us you don't plan. You really don't plan? And I said, no. I love to live in the present.
Yeah,
I love to live
that's
in the
key.
present. There is nothing like living in the present, knowing you don't have to be perfect, but knowing in your heart you are doing your best.
Yeah.
And doing your best sometimes is feeling the fear and do it anyway. That's a book that helped me too in my beginning. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And you
Oh,
realize that everybody has fear, you know. But, oh, for example, one day I took a seminar many, many years ago where I had to come to the front and sing with no music in front of everybody. Talking about getting sweating and going out of and making a fool of yourself and things like that. But every time that you go through something difficult, it makes you stronger. So I remember that when I went back to my seat, I had a conversation with myself, and I told myself, Mabel, if you sang in front of everybody with no music, speaking is easy.
Wow.
I never get nervous. I mean, the more the merry. If I have 10,000 people, I go, oh, wow, better, I'm not nervous. Why? Because I just have to be myself. That was the best advice my teacher gave me. You
wow.
just have to be yourself, because when I didn't do this to teach anything. I
Yeah.
was promoting him. I was promoting the Ho'oponopono trainings with him. I came officially a teacher with him. Then he retired, and I said, well, maybe I can do this. And he meditated and gave me the okay to teach by myself. But I didn't do it. I was still an accountant, again, a successful accountant. So the universe was taking me, was preparing me. I never asked my teacher, could I teach this? It was only that time when he retired, and I thought, Maybe I can do it. I don't know. I didn't want to let people, hang in there, you know. So
Yeah.
so
Mabel, you're so
yes,
inspiring. You're
So,
so
and so
inspiring.
many
thank
My
you.
gosh,
findings in
I feel
this.
so re-energized about my own path and what could be possible. But I am willing to surrender and just be present, and humble
Yeah. I
wherever
mean,
God has me go.
what happened is I lived for 10 years with a person that could see and hear things that I couldn't see and hear. And that allowed my intellect to let go,
Yeah,
and I realized maybe I don't know as much as I think I know,
right.
or maybe life is not what I think it is,
Yeah.
and I started believing in things that I couldn't see or hear, and that changed my life.
I think that
Yeah.
is key. When I started to let go of my analytical, like beta state mind, it really changed me and allowed me to become present. And that seems like that was key for you, is to get out of like figuring it out, forcing things, making plans. And I think that really is key.
Yeah, I mean, and then you realize you are not alone. Like, for example, with the example I gave you, how come somebody in Japan found out about Maybel Katz, a self-published author? Okay, I publish my own books.
Yeah.
So how did in Japan, in Korea, in China, in Italy, in Canada, they get my email, they found out about my book?
Yeah.
I mean,
The
crazy.
universe
But
has your back.
yeah, but you understand? O sea,
Yes.
so you have to know that there is help out there that knows all your responsibility, your problem, not only the problem that you have, it knows the problems that are coming for you that you don't even know. So if you give permission, life could be much easier. That's why my first books were called The Easiest Way. And I wrote even a children's book that is more for adults than children, but with everything that I realized, a lot of the things that I mentioned here to you that changed my life. Because I feel that it's so important that our children, that our young adults are happy now, that we don't program them,
Yes.
like we are, that if we know it doesn't work, if we know we are not happy, why we are replaying, why we are repeating.
And if in my daughter's case, it's like do do through TikTok all day. So she's
Yeah,
being like
well,
programmed by
yeah, but
social media.
you know what people tells me, they listen, maybe they start listening to my videos, yes?
Yes.
And they are listening too. I mean, you don't tell them, come and sit with me and listen to Mabel, But, they start listening. You change as a parent, you become a
Yeah,
happy parent. And,
agree.
and, and that's what it will make a difference on them, not telling them what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
I always tell our children, don't listen to us. They observe us.
Hmm.
So it is what
Yes.
you do. You have to become a happy parent.
Hmm. Thank you. Well, I know you put together a special offer for us. It's a 7-hour program, and I wanted to share that for everyone. And then if we have a little more time, we can keep talking. Um,
I might have to go because I have
okay.
a meeting, but
No
Sure.
worries.
but
No
I
No,
worries.
can
this was
stay a couple of
amazing.
minutes more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's just tell us a little bit about the offer, and what you have
yeah,
in here. It's right behind that one. You have it selected right there,
Thank you.
and just bring it up. So tell us a
yeah,
little bit about this, and then we'll let you go. But we're so
yeah.
grateful too.
And you guys,
No,
they also put it in the chat.
thank you, thank you. So finding your purpose, I mentioned, for me, I was not looking for it because I thought my professional life worked, but the universe had other plans for me. And again, letting go. And so I always say I stumble or I tripped with my purpose. You understand what I mean? And my life changed because when you do what you love, believe me, you will have all the resources, you will have the money. There is nothing you need to worry. But you have to, you sometimes you will have to let go of your comfort zone, yes? So this is a very special program also because includes the DISC profile. I don't know if you ever heard of this profile,
Oh,
but
yes.
will give you so much insight about yourself. It will
Mm.
affirm a lot of things. Because like you mentioned about clarity, sometimes we don't know who we are or what we are good for, you know? But this is an amazing tool. And I included that because that again gives you a lot of, and this is a program that I did with a specialist, a disc specialist, you know? So you will have a lot of content, exercises, you will have tools, and again, it will include the disc profile. So I highly, highly recommend it.
Hmm. It's absolutely your work. I've watched some of your YouTubes, and it's just really
Thank you. Thank you
incredible.
very
You
much.
can tell
But
people
I
have
think
fundamental
I think
change.
yeah, see, there are 4 sessions, and we did it together with Sandra Davis, that is a disc specialist. So besides the Ho'oponopono, besides my zero frequency tools to find your purpose and everything, you also have the disc profile that will give you a lot of clarity.
Mhm.
So the idea is very, very complete. I mean, if you are really ready, if this is really what you are looking for, yes.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like some people just need to know themselves better too. And those different profiling tests, I did 4 of them for this small job that I worked with, and I learned so much just
Yes.
about, how
You
I
know,
deal with
once
things.
once I went back to the CPA office because I was helping them with some clients, and I found out they were doing a test also they were using now that they didn't use it in my time, yeah. So, and I said, could I take it? So I take it, and one of the partners that was in charge of this test looks at me and says, "What are you doing as an accountant? You don't have anything of the quality that a good accountant needs."
Oh,
Because
wow.
because I'm more of an entrepreneur. I'm more of a jump start. Like, I don't care what it was done. I don't care statistics. I don't care. I just jump. And my thing is, you tell me it cannot be done, I'll show you. That's my biggest motivation. You tell me what it cannot be done, I'll show you. So anyway, knowing yourself, also that will give you much more confidence, because again, remember I said the trust in myself was the most important, the very first and most important thing that I could do. Trust in myself. And then, and then everything again just happens.
It's so beautiful. Oh my God.
So, ladies, I really have to go, but I
I
really
Yes,
know you do.
enjoy. As you can see, I love what I do. Uh,
yes.
Yes.
it is really my passion, because again, my passion is to share with people what had helped me and tell you this can work for you too. I mean, I was a very, close-minded. Again, I,
Right.
I only believe in what I could see and touch, and really, there is an amazing world out there that maybe we cannot touch or see, but it's there for us to help, and we don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. So
Good
grateful.
luck, and thank you for what you are doing, because you are
Thank
changing
you.
life too right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. You have a wonderful day.
You
Good
too. Thank
trip.
you.
Have a
And
good
thank you.
trip.
Thank you to all the people there sending